Example 3, identifying the types of equations. Determine whether each equation is an identity, a conditional equation, or a contradiction. Give the solution set. So for part A, we want to solve for x. So the first thing that we want to do is we're going to distribute the -2 to both of those two terms. So -2 times x is going to give us -2x. And -2 times +4 is going to give us -8. And then continuing with +3x, and then that equals x minus 8. Now on the left-hand side, we can combine like terms. So if you notice here, we can combine -2x with +3x, and -2x plus 3x is going to give us 1x, or it's just x minus 8, which is equal to x minus 8. Now immediately you should notice that on both sides of the equal sign, they are equal to each other. But if we go a little further, let's solve for x. So if we subtract x to both sides, we end up eliminating the x's on both sides, and we end up getting -8, which is equal to -8. Okay, this tells us that this is a true statement because -8 is equal to -8. So that tells us that we have infinitely many solutions. And another way of writing that is the following. We would say that the set of all the variables of x such that x is all real numbers. Okay, so again, this is considered an identity. Next, same question. We want to determine whether this is an identity, a conditional equation, or a contradiction. So we have 5x minus 4, which is equal to 11. So we're going to solve for x. So the first thing we're going to do is, we know that x is already isolated on the left side of the equation, so we're going to add 4 to both sides of the equation. We know that -4 plus 4 gives us 0. So we have 5x, which is equal to 11 plus 4, which is 15. The next step is to solve for x by dividing both sides by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, which leaves us with x. And then 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. So therefore, we would say that there's a solution set of the value of 3, which means that is the only solution to this equation, which then tells us that this is a conditional equation. Next, we want to determine whether each equation is an identity, a conditional, or a contradiction. So here, we're going to go ahead and distribute the 3 to those two terms. So 3 times 3x is going to give us 9x. 3 times -1 is going to give us -3. And that's going to equal 9x plus 7. Now again, since we're solving for x, we're going to subtract 9x to both sides. So subtracting 9x to both of those, we know that that's going to give us 0 on the left side, so we have -3. 9x minus 9x is 0, plus 7, which is going to give us 7. So what does this tell us? Well, this tells us that -3 does not equal 7. This is a false statement. And since it's a false statement, we would say that this is a contradiction. Which then tells us that the solution set is either the empty set, the way we can write it that way, or with a braces with it being empty.